Welcome back. A partial government shutdown is on the horizon as lawmakers battle over funding for President Trump's immigration enforcement agenda. A growing number of Democratic senators are warning they will not vote for a $1.2 trillion federal funding package if it includes money for the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration enforcement, following a second deadly shooting in Minneapolis. Republicans, however, aren't budging and instead are suggesting alternatives that would avoid changing the bill, including potential executive actions or an agreement to pass separate legislation. The Senate planned to approve the package this week, and any changes to the bill would require action in the House, which is out of town until next week. If the package isn't approved, a shutdown is set to begin at midnight on Saturday. Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Janelle Bynum of Oregon, definitely up way too early, but we appreciate you being here, Congresswoman. I want to start there on the funding battle, because I know that there are frontliners, folks who have tough re-election battles, that were some of the Democrats that crossed party lines in the House to vote for this DHS funding bill. But you're also a frontliner. You've also got a tough re-election battle ahead. So take me inside your thinking on why you voted against this and what the conversations are within the caucus right now.
Well, this is clearly a policy choice by the administration and by Republicans. They control the House, they control the Senate, and they control the presidency. And we've had conversations about accountability for ICE. We've had conversations about what the country needs to move forward, and that's the choice that they're making.
It's the choice that they're making, but I think now, especially as we've seen people like Tom Suozzi, a Democrat on Long Island, saying he didn't realize how connected ICE was to this funding bill, saying basically he regrets his vote. How do we avoid another shutdown then? Because I look at the dynamics in the Senate, they've certainly changed, especially after that horrible shooting that we saw on Saturday of Alex Preddy. I mean, is there a way to avoid the shutdown?
Maybe people's feelings have changed, but the facts haven't changed. We have an administration that is not being checked by my Republican colleagues. Again, they control the House, they control the Senate, and they control the presidency. And none of the issues that, that senators are raising now are new. We know that they've been given unbridled freedom to spend and to harass, to shoot, and they are lying. So these are not new facts. This is not a new situation. This is a policy choice by my Republican colleagues.
So are you anticipating that there will be a government shutdown?
I think that is a choice for Republicans to make. I am 3,000 miles away from D.C. in my district, talking with constituents who want government to be effective. Just yesterday, I spent the whole day talking with young people about what is important to them. And what they really want is for Congress to be able to walk and chew gum, to make hard decisions in support of the American people, and for us to work together. I remain a bipartisan, moderate Democrat, and I will do what is asked of me to make sure that the country stays open.
Yeah, I think in your conversations with young voters, this is something you and I have talked about on the Hill, this idea of a K through 30 agenda. It's something that you just put out. And I think that some folks are used to the phrase K through 12, but why K through 30? Yeah. What's behind these bills?
Well, I'm a mom of young adults. I have a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old, also a 17 and 15-year-old. And what I was seeing was a lot of them having anxiety, them and their friends, parents who have young people in their homes. I was seeing a lot of anxiety. And actually, the New York Times just put an article out yesterday about what the country is feeling in terms of, the next generation. And so we know that we want to make sure our kids can get off payroll, that they can launch, and we want to make sure that they can live down the street, not downstairs. So for us, the premise is simple. We want to make sure every kid in America gets a good education. And then when they graduate high school and they've done everything that we've asked them to do, there's a good job waiting on them of their choice. And they shouldn't have to wait 20 years to be a new homeowner. Asking people to, be 38 to 40 to buy their first home, I think that's asking a lot, and we need to bring that age back down.
And so what we're showing to viewers on the screen right now are some of the tenets of this K through 30 platform. It's everything from education investment to housing investments. And I think the big question in a very partisan Washington is, can you actually get any of this done? Do you have Republicans that are interested in this, what seemingly should be a pretty bipartisan thing to approach?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody understands that having a future for our kids, that's not a red or blue issue. The premise is just very simple. Number one, good education. Number two, good jobs. Number three, a home that they can afford. That is not partisan. We have 16 bills. 7 of them are bipartisan, and I invite my Republican colleagues to join on the rest.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that this proposal comes at a time when we've seen President Trump himself seemingly taking a page out of the Democratic playbook on some of the things that he himself is pushing for on housing. Have you had any conversations with the White House to that extent?
No, but I do have conversations with my kids, and I have a 24-year-old daughter who comes over every weekend, fills up her coffers with our toilet paper, our paper towels, our soap, our Tide Pods, and goes back home and then sends me a video. Hey, Mom, this is my haul from your house. And so I'm talking with the people who are here on the ground. I'm talking with young people, and I know that this is an issue we need to address.
And that is the best way to build legislation. We'll keep tracking this now that it's been proposed, what actually ends up happening in Congress. It's also possible that we see you before this week is done, even though the House is supposed to be on recess. Democratic Congresswoman Janelle Bynum of Oregon, thank you for coming on with us.